Audio Tip Test 11, The Riot.
You will hear an audio script concerning a mission-related topic. This script will be followed by a conversation between two persons. This conversation will relate to the script. You will hear the tape only once. You will make notes of the script and of the conversation. From these notes, you will be instructed either to answer 10 questions or complete a written report of the incident. Good luck.
On Sunday, 12th of March 2006, some members of the Liberian Progressive Party gathered at the Central Stadium of Monrovia. They were 45 men and 32 women. A senior member of the party was addressing them at the top of his voice because there was no microphone. He told them that the main aim of this gathering was to show the newly elected president that they were completely disappointed in the manner in which she was making appointments to her cabinet. He stated that none of the portfolios was reserved for party members. According to him, 75% of those appointed have not lived in Liberia within the past 10 to 15 years. They were not even in the party in the early days of political campaigning. He told them that the president even refused to grant him an audience to enable him to discuss these issues with her. He proposed a demonstration to protest these shortcomings on the part of the president. When he had finished addressing the crowd, some senior and ordinary members of the party spoke in turn, expressing their opinions regarding the issues raised by the first speaker. 1/3 of the party members spoke in support for the president and her policies, arguing that all the appointments were made on merit for the good of Liberia and Liberians. They pleaded with those who were complaining to be patient with the president and gave her all support she needed to move the country forward. There was confusion among them, and they all dispersed. A secret meeting was later held by some of the members who were calling for a demonstration, where it was decided that they should go ahead with the demonstration on the next day, 13th of March 2006. At 10:00 hours the next day, about 55 party members gathered in front of the presidential palace. Like the previous day, there was no permit from the justice minister for this gathering, as required by the law of Liberia. 3 Liberian National Police officers on foot patrol and UN Police Patrol team of 3 officers in Nissan Patrol Jeep number 461 were on duty in front of the presidential palace. The demonstrators appeared to be peaceful but threatened to remain at the palace's gate until the president came out to speak with them. At 1100 hours, 2 25-seater buses arrived, fully loaded with people chanting solidarity songs in support of the president. The demonstrators who had gathered earlier did not pay any attention to them. The buses had barely stopped when they all disembarked and started attacking the demonstrators with sticks and stones. 10 persons were wounded, and some of the vehicles that brought the first group of demonstrators were seriously damaged. No one ventured to enter the presidential palace as the president's security operatives, assisted by Liberian National Police and UN police officers, stood firmly between them and the gates. A distress call was made to the radio room. A platoon of anti-riot police officers was dispatched to the scene immediately. Upon sighting the platoon, all the rioters except the wounded ran away. An ambulance that had come with the platoon took the wounded to the hospital. By 13:05 hours, peace had returned to the palace. The chairman of the party promised to convene a meeting. He vowed that the perpetrators will not go unpunished. The following conversation was between the Inspector General of Police and the head of Liberian National Police Intelligence Unit.
I want you to tell me everything you know about this riot. The Justice Minister has asked for a report.
I got a report that yesterday, Sunday, the 12th of March 2006, members of the Liberian Progressive Party gathered at the Central Stadium of Monrovia.
How many party members were present, and what was the purpose of this gathering?
There were 45 men and 32 women. The gathering was at the instance of a senior member of the party who addressed them without a microphone. They wanted to show the new president of Liberia that they were disappointed in the manner in which appointments to her cabinet are being made.
What about the appointments?
He complained that 75% of those appointed have not lived in Liberia for the past 10 to 15 years, and they were not in the party in the early days of political campaigns.
Is that all?
He also claimed that the president refused him audience to discuss these issues with her. He proposed a demonstration to protest these shortcomings.
What was the reaction of party members? Did all of them support him?
All except 1/3 of members spoke in his support.
What did those in minority say in favor of the president?
They argued that the appointments were made on merit for the good of Liberia and Liberians, and pleaded with others to be patient and support the president to move the country forward.
Was the issue resolved before they dispersed?
No, there was confusion among them. When they all dispersed, it was reported that some of those calling for a demonstration held a secret meeting later that day. They decided to go on with the demonstration the next day.
Go on and tell me more.
At 10:00 hours today, about 55 party members gathered in front of the presidential palace.
Did they have a permit for this gathering?
Like in the first gathering, they still did not have a permit as required of them by the laws of Liberia, which provide that all public gatherings and assemblies must be with a permit from the Justice Ministry.
Don't we have a patrol in front of the presidential palace?
Yes, we have 3 Liberian National Police officers on foot patrol and 3 UN police officers on patrol in vehicle number 461. They were all present.
What was the mood of the demonstrators?
They appeared to be peaceful, but threatened to remain at the palace gate until the president came out to speak with them.
Did the president come out to speak with them?
The president did not come out. They were still at the palace gate at 11:00 hours when 2 25-seater buses fully loaded with people chanting solidarity songs in support of the president arrived.
How did the first group react when they arrived?
The first group did not pay any attention to them. The people inside the buses disembarked before the buses fully came to a stop and attacked the first group with sticks and stones.
Did any of them enter the presidential palace?
None of them could enter because the president's security operatives, assisted by Liberian National Police and UN police officers, stood firmly between them and the gate, preventing them from getting close to the gate.
Were there any casualties?
10 persons were injured, and some vehicles that brought the first demonstrators were seriously damaged. The officers made a distress call to the radio room, and a platoon of the police support unit was immediately dispatched to the scene.
Were there any arrests made?
As soon as they sighted the platoon, all rioters ran away, leaving behind only the wounded. An ambulance that came with the platoon took the wounded to the hospital.
Thank you for all the information. I will send a written report to the Justice Minister before leaving my office today.
Thank you. I will come with you. You may need some assistance.